Chapter 27. Everything that happened next was difficult to talk about. Estevan and I returned to the mainland and told Josh's parents what happened. There were many tears and denials about his death. "He can't die," his mom screamed. But they came back with us to the island. They had been so traumatized by the news they didn't even care about the large waterfall that separated Dargo Island from the mainland. None of the strange sights seemed to register. They met Anila, who apologized for what had happened to their son, but told them he died a hero. They allowed us to bury Josh on the island, though I doubt they would have if Estevan hadn't explained everything to them. He and Josh had been friends since childhood. They trusted him. Josh was buried in a large, elaborate mausoleum built just for him. It stood on a large hill in the center of the island. We found Dargo's new bird, which hadn't been injected with the plague, and destroyed it. Anila was as good as her word about Andor. Once the islanders were brought back from Dad's realm, the reinstated queen locked Andor away in the palace dungeon. She did this in front of every Dargonian, in the palace courtyard, to send a message to anyone who ever decided to go against her rule. "If we ever face a threat as great as this," she said, "or any threat, for that matter, we will face it together." The crowd cheered. "And let's get rid of this silly paint," she added. "We can talk now, after all." Anila and Commander Reese eventually admitted their love for one another, got married, and produced an heir, a boy named Maximus. During the day, I spent most of my time in Dad's realm. He continued to train me, but my heart was rarely into it. I mostly produced depressing storms. After a while, he left me alone to do whatever I wanted with nature. "As long as no one gets hurt," he said, before going into his cloud palace. I created a couple of tornadoes in empty fields, and flew around a bit before landing on a large mountainous cloud. I wouldn't have thought twice about this cloud if I hadn't heard someone call my name from it. After landing, I searched, but found no one around. Who could have possibly called me from a cloud anyway? I was about to fly away when I heard my name again. This time, the voice had come from the top of the cloud. I flew to the peak, where I saw the silhouette of a figure. It looked like a boy made out of the cloud itself. I couldn't see the face at first, but once I flew closer, I recognized it immediately. "Josh?" "About time you heard me," he said. "I've been calling you from different clouds for days. I can't get out, though." I was still in shock, but I grabbed his hand and managed to pull him out of the cloud. He looked like flesh and blood, the way he had when he was alive. "What am I?" he asked. "I think you're a nature demon now. It must be because of the energy Dad used for the curse. He said he didn't know what would happen to you if you died." I couldn't help it. I cried. "I guess we know now." I laughed. "I guess we do." He looked down at himself. He was completely naked. "Now what? I don't know anything about being a nature demon." I hugged him and said, "I'll teach you." This has been Dargo's Dark Dream, the second tale, written and read by Jerry Hart.